If you only learned half the lesson from your past breakup, you didn't heal, you just paused. You healed the wound that you got from that breakup, but not the behavior. You might have processed the old relationship ending and the whole dynamic ending and the attachment, which is very painful. But because you didn't unlearn the urge to overfunction and lose yourself, the underlying blueprint is exactly the same. So basically, you haven't fully learned the lesson until your behavior changes when a new trigger arrives. So let's say after this breakup, you encounter a new person and you immediately drop your boundaries to keep them happy. That means the cycle hasn't been broken, it's on pause. It is very easy to feel completely healed when no one is testing you. The real proof of healing isn't how peaceful you are when you are alone. It's how anchored you stay when you choose to let somebody back in. Also, when you choose to pause instead of heal, you then end up staying stuck in a loop, which is basically you're subconsciously attracting the same person. They might be more adventurous or have different things that you wanted in your list, but at the end of it, after a couple of months, you sooner rather than later realize that this person is very similar to your ex. And that's the scary part, because you thought they were completely different and you're like, oh my God, it's the same person in a different body. Just a more attractive body. And the reason is because we have not learned the lesson yet. And the sooner that we realize that we're not here to eat donuts and travel and that we're not just here to enjoy life and make money and be successful, but we're really here to learn the lesson that our soul has chosen to learn before we reincarnate into this planet Earth. As a guide, I see people trapped in these 3 invisible cycles every single day. Grab a pen. If you don't know these down, you're about to repeat them. The first loop sign is the blame trap versus true boundaries. Blame is the exit ramp for accountability. If you're somebody who's stuck in this loop, you might be focusing heavily on your ex-partner's bad behavior instead of taking accountability for having your own boundaries, which is the lesson that you need to learn. One of my recent clients mentioned that she was in a toxic relationship. She then also mentioned that she started dating somebody and she's on dating apps and she's meeting people and she's really enjoying it. But then her ex-partner ended up messaging her, telling her, I miss you, I love you, let's go for a walk. And she instantaneously, said yes and went on for that walk. And even though she knew the kind of person that he is, she still had that hope that, maybe he changed, maybe he's a bit different now, maybe he did learn the lesson and he wants me back and everything's going to be fine. And I've definitely been that person many of times, so I totally understand. And there's nothing wrong with giving people chances and hoping for the best. But when you start to blame your ex-partner for calling you to this, going for this walk and love bombing you, I understand it's upsetting, because you're like, oh, he's still the same, he's still a douchebag, whatever. But we at some level also need to take accountability for our own decisions and choices that we're making. And it's like you're expecting a snake to change its character. You're expecting the snake to act like a golden retriever because it's not gonna happen. Not that fast anyway. And so the more that we sit and complain and crib and just hate on these people, we're just stuck in this loop, in this cycle. We're not noticing what we need to change. So it's less about that person, it's more about you. How are you responding to these type of people? Because if this person has these toxic tendencies, they're a narcissist, whatever it is, then most probably they are going to hoover you back, which is one of their things that they do. Is as soon as you have an amazing life and you're dating out there and you're making a lot of money and you're successful, they want to get you back. They want to get you hooked. And so that is when they start to attack you with, I miss you, I love you, and I've changed, and look at my life, and I will do anything for you. And a lot of us, men and women, fall for the trap. And I need you to stop it. What I wanted to hear from her is the accountability. That I said yes when my heart really said no. And I ignored that. I ignored my gut, my feelings, what I really wanted to do. And I just followed because of peer pressure, and I just said yes because I wanted to please him and I wanted to make him happy. And I feel like even though it was not the best decision, I mean, to be honest, every decision in your life, regardless if it's bad or good, it doesn't matter. It is still part of your evolution. So in reality, there is no bad. I know it sounds a little bit crazy because I'm like, oh my God, I've done so many crazy things. But in reality, everything, whether you've chosen the right or wrong or whatever, it's beneficial to you. It's part of your journey. Now, because you might have not processed the lesson, your boundaries are non-existent. You kind of revert back to your old self. Now, the second loop sign is pedestals versus character proof, which is basically choosing flashy external status over slow cooked character. The trap is that after your breakup, you then go on, you meet somebody new, you go on a couple of dates with them, and you suddenly, because they have some mansions and they have money and they have some cars and they're good looking and they're tall and they're handsome, you again put them up on a pedestal. And by the way, maybe this man is great and he's a great catch, but you might be the red flag. He's going to run away from you because he's going to soon enough realize that you don't really have boundaries with your ex-partner, and he's not going to find that attractive. So basically, and a lot of women do this, you build a fantasy before you really know who he is, before you know the core of this person. And we have forgotten this, but real character, really seeing who this person truly is, it takes time. Because with time, you tend to notice, oh, he's in a good mood today. He's in a bad mood today. He's a little bit frustrated today. How does he respond to you and the people around you when he has different emotions, when she has different emotions? Falling for status and looks and attraction and chemistry blinds you to early red flags because you're so consumed by all these external things. It's so sparkly that you just want to, grab them and let's get this party started without understanding who this person is and how are they going to treat you when they're upset? How are they going to treat you when they lose their job? How are they going to support you in your dreams? Are they going to truly encourage you, motivate you, or are they going to belittle you and make you feel like you're not worthy of your, all the dreams that you want to accomplish in your life? The third loop sign is validation seeking versus true discernment, where you're basically talking at them instead of listening to them. You enter dates consumed by a deep, urgent need to be heard, seen, and validated. You tend to basically talk nonstop to prove your worth instead of asking deep questions to get to know the person. And people that are older tend to do this more often because it is something that they have been doing for a long time. So it's hard to get off that loop and being aware, which is why I believe asking a third party to give you some feedback or just, trying to see what are some of the things you can improve on when you go on dates or just communicating with another person. I noticed this when I was a matchmaker, when I would coach clients, and I remember one of my clients, he was this older gentleman, and he I gave him some great matches, but every time, I would get feedback from the women, they would mention a couple things which are very similar. And one of the things that they mentioned was that he doesn't ask me any questions. He's talking a lot about himself. and you keep on hearing this one after the other. And of course, I'm gonna call you out on that, like I do all my clients. But the part where you have to actually know that this is a problem, this is something that we need to work on, and actually integrate that into your dates and into communicating with people. When you don't integrate it and you're aware of it, but you don't really believe it, you're like, oh, whatever, just some of the things women say, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And you continue to do it, and then you're stuck. And then you get frustrated with yourself and other people. And that is where a lot of people are unable to get out of that, because they do not want to face the truth. Nothing is more attractive than talking to somebody who does not listen, who is not present with you, and they're just blabbering and they're just trying to impress you. It's just a turnoff. And I just wish women and men can realize this. The sooner that we realize this, the faster we're going to attract our true healthy partner. You are so busy trying to get them to choose you that you forget to check if they are actually a healthy and safe match for you. I love this quote by Eckhart Tolle. Awareness is the greatest agent for change. Without awareness, we cannot get anywhere. Awareness is the first step. If you feel like you're in one of these loops, fantastic. That means you're honest with what's going on in your life right now, and you're aware of it. Those are two key ingredients in a breakthrough in order to change your life, in order to be the best version of yourself, in order to serve humanity. Like, that is what you need. But I don't want you to sweep this under the rug and think that everything's going to be fine just because you're aware of it. Awareness is great, but also figuring out what are your internal beliefs, what is the conditioning, and also what are the next steps you can take in order to break the loop. A lot of the times we know what we need to do, but we don't know what the next step is. And that is what I can help you create. Also, I would love to know which of these 3 loops are you breaking today. Save this video, drop your answers below, and let's talk in the comments. If you're completely exhausted from carrying everything on your back just to end up feeling lonely and unappreciated, then this stops today. Book a relationship audit below and let's get your peace back. I love you, and I will see you in my next one.